you doing, Bill?
I'm doing great, Jeff. How are you?
Excellent. Thank you. And welcome to Bitcoin Brody and the Crypto Cadets. I'm Jeff Brody.
And I am Bill Sheltima.
Yeah. So thank you for joining us today. Got a exciting show. We got a number of topics we're going to talk about. We wanted to talk about the PopCoin culture.
Yeah.
Obviously, we need to speak about Dogecoin to the moon.
Yeah, we do.
The Dogefather on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
And also chat a little bit about Shiba Inu SHIB. Who's your daddy, Doge? Who's your daddy? And then we'll close it up with a little bit of conversation about emotional intelligence around the investments.
Yeah, absolutely. Very important part.
Yeah. So PopCoin culture. What's that mean to you?
That's a great term, a great phrase for well, how was I going to say that? It's a great coined phrase.
Yeah, I think it's excellent. I mean, I find when people call it shit coins, there's a lot of negative connotation around it because people have been, the reality is guys have been around for a market turn, have gotten burned by these popular coins.
Yeah.
Right? And that means that, they didn't understand taking profits, or they got into a rug pull. They lost money. So there's a lot of bad things around it.
Yeah.
I think in this market spin, we've got that still, right?
Yeah.
But we're seeing a lot of these popular coins, right? So it's this whole pop culture. So I like the term PopCoin.
Yeah. And it, when I first heard it or read it on our messages there, I'm thinking popcorn, I'm thinking movies, I'm thinking something positive, good energy, something fun, something to look forward to. And if you do your due diligence, you do your research, and you are cautious, and you know what type of profits you want to get out of it, then you can make it. It can be a fun experience. It doesn't need to be negative. It doesn't have to be negative energy around it.
Yeah, exactly. I remember Pop Fiction, right?
Yeah.
Back in the 80s with that was
you mean John Travolta?
John Travolta, right?
Yeah.
And when the girl overdoses on heroin.
Yeah.
And he's got the big syringe and he drives it into her chest.
Yeah.
That's the image that pops into my boom. Ah!
Yeah, exactly. Kapow.
Kapow, right?
Yeah.
And I think the kapow is what we're seeing with all these pop coins, right? Yeah. And pop coins, I don't mean blowing up. It's just they're blowing up with popular culture.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
This is the whole TikTok regime.
Yeah.
Instagram, Telegram, Discord.
Yeah.
You name it, right? All of these social channels that are very different than what traditional investors are used to.
Yeah.
Right?
It would be really
a new market culture.
Yeah, it would be interesting to do a demographic to see where the majority of the age range of crypto investors, where that sits, because whether it's millennials or what, they definitely have a totally different mindset on finances, how to make money. And for them, celebrity is a big deal. Memes on their own are so powerful, and you can't get away from them. They're a part of our vernacular now, and everyone knows them. Everyone uses them. And so that makes sense why, Dogecoin, the Shiba Inu coin, why they are as popular as they are and are going to continue to be popular. There'll be more to come.
Yeah. Here's something. There's a new top 10 coin today.
Oh, is there?
Called ICP.
ICP. Okay.
And ICP, let me just take a look at this quickly on CoinMarketCap, is Internet Computer. So ICP. So it came from nowhere, and all of a sudden we have this $43 billion token that pop up overnight. And if you take a look at the charts, it just shows you this rocket up, right? Now, I wanted to talk about this. So it wasn't a PopCoin. What was it? Where was it?
Yeah.
There's another project called Ecomi. Right? You've heard some of us talk about it, right? Ecomi, the NFT platform that, for trading collectibles, that's got all of the licenses, Warner Brothers, Marvel, Disney. It's got all of the big names, and there's some big names that they're talking about could be coming out. Now, CoinMarketCap has this at like 2,000. It's got $1 billion market cap already. Okay, so there's billions of coins. There are billions of coins, but there is tokenomics that describe how those coins will be burned and used. Every time there's a sale, you get coins that are burning. There's coins that are locked up, right? Because what happens is that you see these projects that have billions of coins, and they flood out billions of coins into holders' hands, millions of coins. Right. So you can see a project that will climb from nothing to, $100 million, then someone who, a whale holder of these coins that they paid nothing for, go and they dump 10 million, and it tanks the project. Right. So I seen that happen on a recent project. Right. So I think that these are things. So Ecomi, again, is really not listed as a, the ranking doesn't meet its position, is really what I'm saying. So these projects that just pop up out of nowhere, they just don't get the love of the CoinGecko, the CoinMarketCap.
Yeah, it takes guys like yourself and others that are kind of watching it to kind of bring it to our attention.
Yeah.
And but I did have a question. This is coming from a greenhorn, a newbie, not only for myself, but someone else that might be watching. When you talk about, Ecomi, and they have tokenomics, you talk about burning coins, what exactly is taking place there?
So basically what happens, the project, want to use the right term, so the cryptocurrency project, when they write a white paper, the white paper talks about the technology, they talk about the team, but they also talk about the division of tokens within the team. You're always going to see a group of tokens that are set aside for the founders and the developers, so that it makes sense that the people developing the project and pouring their blood, sweat, and tears into this will be taken care of at some time. So the tokenomics are, they set aside a certain amount of tokens for the founders, the developers, like a percentage. They have a certain amount of coins that are set aside to run the project. And then they may have different sets of rules that they'll have. So those tokens that are set aside for the founders and the developers may be locked out for a certain amount of time and released on milestones. So that you don't get these whale types of coin dumps. What happens is that a project's going along, it's doing really well, it's really gaining momentum. You get this unlocked, it's like unlocked stock options. You get these tokens handed to you, and you decide, hey, you know what? I've been eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and sardines for the last 17 months. I'd like to move up to craft dinner. So you go and you dump a few million coins, and you pull some money out. But what that does is you become the whale manipulating the market. So tokenomics really describe how the tokens are dispersed. There may be something called token burning. So when you get into these coins like SHIB, that's got trillion, it's got a quadrillion tokens, right? people are holding trillions of coins.
Yeah.
Right. Because, it's like we have a mutual friend who bought $100, like when the project was first released, shortly after, and has held that bag, and that $100 worth of coins has gone up over 1,000 times.
Yeah.
And you take a project like Ecomi, where what they're doing is they've built into their tokenomics the burning off of the coins, right? Mm-hmm. So they're pulling out their lighter and they're firing up, and they're going to burn those tokens. So those tokens go out of circulation permanently.
Okay. Oh, okay, I get it. So they're
extinguished in a sense. Every time a project hits a milestone, they may burn off more tokens. So what it's doing is it's decreasing the circulating supply.
Okay.
Which increases the value of the rest of the tokens.
Right.
Because if you take a look at coin market cap, right? The coin market cap is the value of the token times the circulating tokens.
Yeah.
So if there's 1 billion tokens and they were worth $1 each, the market cap is $1 billion. Mm-hmm. Now, if there was a circulating supply of 20 million coins at $1, that the circulating supply market cap would be $20 million. Mm-hmm. However, the total market cap would be $1 billion.
Right.
So you'll notice when you look on CoinGecko or CoinMarketCap, you have two different numbers, right?
Yeah.
And that's where those two different numbers come from.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you're buying into a project, you want to understand the tokenomics, and you want to understand how they're releasing these tokens, so that you don't become subject to a rug pull.
Yeah.
Right? Because I read a white paper on a project. I thought, hey, this is really cool. They're dealing with a demographic that has really been misrepresented. This could be really powerful. And, the market cap was, in the millions, not even the tens of millions. Mm-hmm. Right. So I got involved in the project early. It went up 5 times, and I was getting ready for my Lambo. Right. And then someone dumped 5 million tokens.
Oh, yeah.
So this project went from 29 cents to 10 cents. But it sprung back up so quickly. It was back at 20 cents in less than 5 minutes.
Wow.
That's how heavy the pressure was. The word had gotten out there.
Yeah.
It's been hovering around the 15 cents, right?
Okay.
So my net take on that was, I made 2.5 times on my investment. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, okay, I'm out mostly. There's a little bit in there, but I took my profits and moved it elsewhere.
Yeah.
And, this is the thing, is I was too greedy to take 5 times because I felt it had a bigger run to it.
Yeah.
Because I sold myself the hype.
Yeah, it blinds you, doesn't it?
Oh, totally. Yeah. And these are all really good educational experiences. They are. When we don't get angry, we get curious.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we ask why and how come.
Yeah. It's like our relationships, and if instead of getting upset, we get curious. What was my role in this?
You mean we play a role in it too?
I know. I don't get it.
Can we do any wrong? No.
You mean it doesn't just happen to me?
Yeah.
Come on,
it's all them. It's not me. It's all them.
Exactly. I'm always a victim.
Yeah. Oh, no kidding. The victim. I think that's where we see that a lot. I think in cryptocurrency, the victim.
Yeah. Here's the thing that I've noticed. Right. The critics have the biggest heart. They've been hurt. Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah.
And they really want to steer people away from their pain. That's what this is about.
Yeah.
Right. So I know these people really mean well, and they've got the best interests of everyone in their mind. So when we think about, I had a sample sentence I shared today, and it was that SHIB Inu is a pop coin. I don't know much about it. Be careful.
Yeah.
And the second one was that SHIB Inu is a shit coin. I don't know much about it. Be careful. And you feel the energy between those two statements.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if we understand it's a pop coin, and we don't understand what's popular in the culture that's driving it.
Yeah, that's right. Very true.
Right. So I think, that's, I kind of defer the technical analysis to the popcoin to some of the younger folks that I know, because they're in tune with what's going on.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, definitely.
Right. So, you take a look at the last run on Doge, when it was around 20 cents, people were buying in. If you got out at 75 cents, you would have had a 300-time return.
Yeah.
Right. And then you could have bought back in, and you could have oscillated the 40 to 70 cents a couple of times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You could have got a multiplier effect in there if you were trading. Right.
Yeah.
I'm kind of more of the traditional thinking, buy and hold, buy low, sell high.
Yeah.
And that's a really great thought. But what was missing was how high.
Yeah.
Right. And it's buying into the excitement of to the moon.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about Dogecoin.
Yeah.
Did you see that? You posted that information. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. Well, I was watching Dogecoin because I have some, I think from the midweek Wednesday on into Saturday, and then watched the Saturday Night Live. I went back and forth. I watched it live on YouTube, and just out of curiosity sake to see what was going to happen. I think I stayed up till 1:30, 2 o'clock. I think you stayed up even later. And so, yeah, I think a lot of people were disappointed. They were really hoping for a bigger pump, but then other people said, well, with the SEC, it was probably more of a, watch your words and maybe be a little bit cryptic. And because I was expecting a skit where it would be like, come along, little Doji, something like that. But
and I was expecting them like to get onto a rocket to the moon or something, like something play that.
Yeah, he had, and then in the news report, that segment they did where he talked about it being what's the word? Hustle. It was a hustle.
Yeah. Hustle.
I think a lot of people were really, really disappointed in hearing that. And it really depends on the kind of person you are, how you take some of that stuff,
Well, exactly. And it's like, let's talk about the the digital nomads. It's hustle and grind.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. You think about the digital nomads, hustle and grind on the people who are making their livings on the social media, whether it's YouTube, Facebook, TikTok.
Yeah.
There's a couple of others. There's one other that's only available on the iPhone. What's that one called? Anyways, I forget now. But you get these types of people, right? These digital nomads. So hustle and grind is not a negative thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Where it's like if you're a backstreet hustler, that's got a different connotation and vibe to it. So it really depends on where your head's at. And and we had that dialogue where Elon is under the scrutiny of the SEC. He's had his head slapped for different tweets that he's done over the last few years.
Yeah.
And Wall Street was out to shut Doge down Saturday night.
Oh, absolutely.
And if you followed the guy from Grayscale said, we're shorting Dogecoin, make sure you sell, right?
Yeah.
So that's a Wall Street dude saying we're going to dump.
That sounds like insider trading almost, doesn't it?
Well, that's what they would call it if it was a regulated industry.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, if it was a regulated industry and manipulating the market like that would be illegal.
Yeah.
They'd never do that on stocks, would they?
I don't think so, because
I don't think they would do anything like that, because that's totally illegal.
Yeah.
But you know what? In the wild world of the West of cryptocurrency, you can do whatever the bleep you want.
Yeah. And that's kind of, that skit that they did was actually right in line, because it is the Wild West,
Absolutely.
But, after that, people probably were disheartened. But then I saw the article about him using Dogecoin to pay for the payload for their first mission to the moon.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool that they've got that that company from Canada, sending a payload to the moon paid by Dogecoin.
Yeah.
And so I think that Elon got back at having the handcuffs on him on Saturday Night Live on what he could or couldn't say.
Yeah.
And he's sending Doge to the moon. I think the message is pretty clear.
Yeah.
I want to give Elon a big shout out, because, his transparency that he's the first Asperger's host, at least admitting it, and bringing that on and saying, we're just normal people.
Yeah.
And I think he did a brilliant job.
Yeah.
In what he did. He's funny, and like in all the skits and everything he did, I thought he did a wonderful job.
So not being an actor or celebrity in that sense. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and he's a celebrity in his own right. Like he does, like, he's a brilliant presenter, and you can tell, like, the way he chooses his words. Like, he's very thoughtful. He's very thoughtful of what he says and how he says it, because he realizes the weight that his words is such a huge celebrity that he is, that he can sway the public opinion. And
they hang on every word. Yeah. So I found that was, I guess, comforting. It's like, okay, we're really back. It's like, it isn't over. Saturday Night Live is not the thing that was going to make it bust or not, because, with the news that came out, I guess it was Sunday, well, maybe it was Monday, kind of put you at ease.
Yeah. And, everybody was talking about that, the haters were talking about how Doge was going to just go to zero. During Saturday Night Live, 2 million Doge tokens were dumped.
Yeah.
In a 1 hour time frame.
Yeah.
Right. 200 million. I was sitting there counting the bars. Over that show. So once there was no sell-off, no big sell-off, no manipulation sell-off. Let me rephrase that. There was no manipulation sell-off until, we were half an hour into the show. And so it was staged to make a statement against, we control the market. Yeah. But here's the thing. Like, Doge dropped down to 39 cents for a moment, and its recovery was incredibly fast.
It was, yeah.
I put a stop loss in, and I was stop lossed once. I bought back in. I was stop lost a second time, and then when it bottomed out, I bought back in, and then I sold out the following day when it recovered. So, I had bought in originally around 33 cents. So, I was fine. I just wanted, my plan was double my money.
Yeah.
So I didn't quite double it, but I did okay. And this was, so this was what I saw Doge as a ladder.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Take $100 and make it $175. Why not?
Yeah. Yeah. Why not?
right? And Doge is still trading. Maybe it's not $1. You know,
Yeah.
the hype was the dollar, and it's, you know, buy the rumor, sell the news.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so that was, you know, that was a good experience to go through, because you know how many people had their eyes on that, and you know, like what Grayscale had said, you know, something was going to happen, and you know, just to watch that energy take place and be a part of that, it's kind of a cool feeling, actually, to know that, you know, thousands upon thousands of people have invested in something. We're all watching it together. We all want to know what's going to happen, what's it going to say. And there was a really strong community backing for Dogecoin, right? People they're in it, and they want it to succeed. So, and it will.
Yeah, you know, I've got a small group of people that I coach one-on-one, sort of like how you work with men and women. And the ask was, you know, we were talking about SHIB.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, SHIB's interesting, and SHIB just got listed on a whole pile of exchanges.
Yeah.
Now, this is a powerful pop coin, because you know, it showed up on crypto.com.
Yeah.
It showed up on KuCoin.
KuCoin, yeah.
And Binance.
Yeah.
And then it showed up on 3 or 4 other exchanges as well. And there was a tweet from SHIB to KuCoin saying we'd love to list KuCoin next, right? So there's some real marketing genius on SHIB. So them getting out so quickly into like 5 major exchanges is driving the popularity of that coin, and it's really set in place to rival some Doge. But I don't think it's taking away from the Doge family. I think it's bringing a whole new breed of pop coin folks.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I picked up a bit on crypto, and then I picked up some more on KuCoin once I realized I could get on KuCoin, because that's now become my #1 exchange that I use. I'm just loving it. I love the layout, love the color scheme, love the candles. You know, just it gives me just enough of a challenge to understand it and to learn it, which is good, because of what they say, when you go into a room, make sure you're not the smartest one. Yeah. So, you know, I pick an exchange that, you know, challenges me, because I want to learn, I want to grow. And so then I can, you know, not only help myself, my own financial sovereignty, but help others.
Yes.
So, so I have it in 2 places right now. So yeah, it's really, really exciting.
Yeah, it's cool. And, you know, it's trying to figure out, what are these pop culture coins? What do they mean, right? Because we can't, you know, we go and read the white paper. We look at the fundamentals, we look at the technology, we look at the team, we look at all these things. And it's like, okay, so we use our lenses that give us a view of a world that doesn't fit pop culture coins.
Yeah, it doesn't. I was thinking about this yesterday, and I was talking to my girlfriend about it. And I said, you know, with traditional stocks, you're buying commodities, you're buying gold, you're buying precious metals, you're buying oil, your wheat, you know, lumber. Yeah, right. And here it's like, it's a completely different world. It's digital. It's like you're not going to carry any of it. You might have symbolic, you might have a chain that's like Bitcoin, you know, that's your chain, but it doesn't do anything other than,
you got a QR code tattooed on your forearm instead of the mum. You got a QR code here.
Well, yeah. Well, speaking of that, you know, I think last week I posted something on the group with the QR code in the sky with
I saw that with the drones.
With the drones, and you were able to download a game. I mean, that's blows
brilliant.
my mind. Yeah,
that's freaking brilliant.
Well, that is probably more that'll start coming. A great marketing, right? And so, you know, it's a totally different world. It's not traditional investing that we know it as we were taught or seeing our fathers do it, reading the, you know, paper and looking at the stock exchange. You know, we're not dealing with what was it? The movie oh, what's the movie that? Oh, give me a second.
Ready Player One. Or?
Dan Aykroyd and where the investors and they get
oh yeah, the pork bellies. The pork bellies.
Pork bellies and orange juice, right? Yeah. We're not dealing with that at all.
No.
So it's, you really have to approach it differently. You have to have an open mind. You have to go in ready to learn and be taught and be challenged. You know, it is not going to be, like you say, how can you track Dogecoin? It doesn't fit any of the models. You can't really, like, you can't get a hold of it to control it because it's going to do what it's going to do.
Well, and people are going, well, there's no utility. Like, it's a stupid coin. It's shit coin. It's like, because, you know, it doesn't do anything. Yeah. Well, it actually does one thing. You know what it does? It responds to Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Good doggy. Come doggy. Yeah. Right? Well, Elon said, heal.
He said it's the currency for Mars, isn't he? Didn't he? Or common man currency?
He's been playing with, like, he's been toying with all kinds of things, right?
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, it was a conversation that I had with a fellow about where the government controls fiat currency, and perhaps Elon is giving the blue collar person, the average Joe, you know, the average Jill, power to create their own currency. Because let's face it, folks, if cryptocurrency hasn't proven to you that money is a concept, nothing will.
Yeah.
Money is a complete concept.
Yeah. Well, you know, I said, I think in the last show, that my kind of theory, loose theory about it is he's trying to teach us, and he's putting us through these scenarios like Saturday Night Live, and then using it as a paying for a payload to go to the moon, symbolically, but also to teach us and to reinforce the fact that there's value here. You just have to look at it differently. I think he's teaching us by, and he's the one that could do it because he has the kind of power. He has that viewership and the power to his word, right? To be able to do that. So I think that's what I think anyways. I mean, I could be way off, but it feels kind of that way to me, that here's a guy that I can kind of lead the way. I will show you the power of the currency of crypto, you know, and how you can start to take back your financial freedom and again build your own financial sovereignty.
Yeah, you know, I think there's a lot to that. Like, Elon is, you know, people paint him out to be an evil person, and they tend to do that with the silly top money people, billions and billions of dollars. They all become the evil overlords.
Yeah.
Right. And it's you know, so Elon Musk, the evil overlord, taking that cultural reference, that slur against him, and then applying it to Dogecoin and saying, I'm the Doge overlord, right?
Yeah.
So he's taking a slur and turning it into a joke.
Yeah.
There's some brilliance in someone who's able to laugh at himself.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that I think that, you know, Elon's success on Saturday Night Live was he was there to laugh at himself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right? And I think it's cool, and I enjoyed it. I haven't watched Saturday Night Live for a long time.
Oh, me neither.
I don't watch TV, but on my Fibe TV, on my Fibe internet, I get a free 10-channel package or whatever. So it's like, oh, how do I get into this?
Yeah. I haven't watched Saturday Night Live since, well, probably before David Spade and Chris Farley.
Well, you know, I'll say Hans and Franz.
Yeah, that's even going back further.
That was
Billy.
Who was that? Who did Hans and Franz? Was that Jim Carrey or no?
No, not Jim Carrey. I can't think of their names. Yeah, that was around the time with Billy Crystal and Christopher Guest. When they would do the cops. They would finish each other's description of what they were going through in the hallway. Yeah. Bitcoin was a long ways off from then.
Oh yeah. You know, so it's pop culture.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So if we're not in tune with the pop culture, it makes sense.
Yeah.
That we don't get these coins.
Yeah. But we don't have to fully get them to profit from them. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think it's kind of comes back to this. Don't hate it. Don't date it. Just trade it.
Just trade it. Yeah.
And it's that having a clear, getting in early, getting out early, right? Know what you want. It's like I had to make a mental decision what I wanted from Doge, because I wasn't I wasn't afraid, but there was fear on the thinking, like, this is going to crash, it's going to burn, it's going to crash, it's going to burn.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's the emotions that are driving this whole thought.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, what do I want? What's safe?
Yeah.
Right? It's that what's safe in this relationship. It's when we allow things to be outside of our control, and we try to control things that are outside of our control. What happens, Bill?
Oh, it's a mess.
Yeah.
It's a disaster.
So how do we feel emotionally when we try to control things we have no control over?
Well, we get fearful and we get angry,
frustrated.
We may even have a conniption fit.
Yeah, we lash out at things and people.
Yeah, and too, I was thinking, we project and make it personal with the coins, just like with our cars. I can only speak for myself here, but you kind of give a name to your car, or you figure you send your car good vibes, you're going to get a good running vehicle, or you talk to your 5-iron or 3-iron when you're on the course, right? And if you're in the military, you talk to your gun, you give your gun a name, right? Or whatever. And we do that, not even realizing it, but the cryptocurrency doesn't know us anything. It doesn't have any emotions. Yet we put emotions to it, because once we enter that relationship with it, it's like it's on, right? And so when it doesn't perform and do as we expect it to, and if we don't have the emotional maturity, emotional intelligence to understand why and why we're reacting the way that we do, we're going to mess up all the time. We're going to be frustrated. We're not going to have the enjoyment. I'm absolutely loving the experience, the good and the bad, in my crypto investing from the last, I think I'm 3 months in now. And it's been fun. I've been making sure I keep it fun and playful. I take it seriously enough. I only invest what I'm willing to lose. And I've been doing really well so far. I'm cautious, of course, but it's been a good ride so far. It also has helped me because I've done a lot of my own growth and internal work and gone through some stuff, and so that has helped me as well. I understand my emotions. I understand some of my triggers and why I might be projecting. So that really goes a long way.
Yeah, and it's how we project ourselves into the investments that we deal with.
Yeah.
Right? I was looking at, like, I held a couple of defense stocks.
Mm-hmm.
I bought them high because they were going higher, and they went low.
Yeah.
They went lower.
Oh, ouch.
And I'm so, like, 9 months of watching those negative numbers sitting on the balance sheet,
mm-hmm.
and realizing, hey, I haven't lost any money because I haven't sold them, and now they've recovered, right?
Mm-hmm.
And had I taken the little loss 7 or 8 months ago and maybe lost 10%,
mm-hmm.
I might have been able to sit on that bag of dollars and bought back in when they hit the bottom. But what happens to most people, and like me, is I feel that I've been violated.
You're so vulnerable, Jeff.
I feel that coin, that stock, has been unfaithful to me.
Yeah.
And,
Exactly.
and it's like, I just don't want Doge. I'm done with you. I'm so done with you.
Take me back, baby. Please. I'm sorry. Take me back.
Yeah, well, when it crawled up to 70 cents, I'm sure there was a lot of people that were begging at the door of Doge saying, "Take me to $1, honey. Take me to $1. I will never do it again."
Yeah, I promise. Oh yeah. My gosh, that's funny.
It is,
Mhm.
uh, so this, it's interesting, and our emotional intelligence as investors, it develops by really paying attention
Mm-hmm.
to what we do.
Yeah.
Don't get upset at ourselves. Don't let that negative voice come out and say, "Oh, you're being stupid. You're being
Yeah.
stupid. That's really stupid. You did that."
Yeah.
Right? Don't do
Yeah.
that. Well, or don't do that military voice. You know what I mean? I won't say it. And
Yeah.
the explicitives that go along with it, right?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
So those things that serve no purpose, right? And if
Mm-hmm.
we look at it with curiosity, wow,
Yeah.
that's interesting. Why did I do that? What
Yeah.
makes me so damn greedy?
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
makes me so damn needy?
Yeah. Well, too, I'm not sure if I'm going to say this correctly, but a good sailor didn't learn to be a good sailor around calm seas.
Yeah.
You won't learn to be a good investor if it's always going good for you. You're going to have to weather some storms and actually take some hits and maybe capsize a little bit here and there, before you become a good investor. And that's the only way to really get there.
Yeah, and it's interesting. You use the word sailing. You watch a person who can sail masterfully
Yeah.
in the worst conditions. They
Mm-hmm.
just they have intuition,
Mm-hmm.
right? They have uh, their reactions, their movements, everything they do is done with grace and ease.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in 1992, I bought a 180 liter windsurfer.
Okay.
Took it up to the cottage, and picked it up on the internal work sale, little sale newsletter thing.
Okay.
Um, got it, pulled it out, and my girlfriend at the time, we're at her cottage, and she's like, "Oh yeah, that's pretty good." And she gets it out, she puts it fully clothed, running shoes on, puts the board in, flips up the sail, steps onto the board, sails across the channel, spins around, sails back, jumps off on the dock, did not get wet.
Wow. She knew her stuff.
I couldn't even stand on the damn board, let alone sail. Wow. So it's okay to be messy.
Yeah.
That's what this message is. It's okay to be messy.
Yeah.
In what we do, because every master was once a disaster.
Good line. Good one.
Right? And if we play if we stay within the lines,
Mm-hmm.
what we can afford to lose,
Yeah.
that disaster can be an invaluable lesson.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah.
I think they call it the school of hard knocks.
It could be. It could be.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know the one lesson I'm seeing for myself is the patience, and it's FOMO too, a little bit of FOMO in there, because if I wait even a couple hours, it actually goes down a little further.
Yeah.
And so if I learn to go, just kind of cool my jets and just kind of breathe through it, breathe through that thing, and just give it the afternoon, there's a likelihood it could go down lower. And in most cases it has. So that's just something that I've learned myself over time, is to just take your time. There's no rush, right? Tomorrow will be another day.
Yeah.
Another day, another dip, right?
well, that's it. And we don't know where the bottom is.
Mm-hmm. No.
However, when it flips and starts rising, we can see the candle moving up.
Mm-hmm.
And that may be a signal to buy.
Yeah.
And that's where that's where coins that follow the technical now can actually pay heed to the technicals. Yeah. Oh, that's a cup and handle. Oh, that's a rising, that's an ascending triangle. That's a diamond. That's a, that's a bull flag. That's a bear flag, right? And then, if it's a pop culture coin, all of that could be going on, and then Elon gets in and tweets Dogecoin to the moon, the new payload. We're taking an ASIC miner on the SpaceX rocket, and they're going to mine Dogecoin from the moon. We're putting solar panels in it, and we're going to use the SpaceX satellites to relay the coins back to Earth. So we're doing clean energy.
Yeah.
Gaia Coin Foundation approved mining.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, and then up it goes again.
Yeah. So it's a whole new era, and this is the thing. The market has changed.
Yeah, definitely.
This isn't 2017. This isn't 2015. This isn't 2013. However, the trends of those years leave breadcrumbs on how the market moves.
Yeah.
And the past can predict the model for the future. But there's so many things that have come into play in this whole market that were not there before.
That's true. Like the meme coins. Yeah. Like the pop, right?
These pop coins, the meme coins, the actual applications, the DeFi applications, the dApps, the just decentralized apps that are running on the decentralized finance network with smart contracts on smart contracts running on the Binance Smart Chain network that never existed before. That, we have the Ethereum network now. Ethereum had gone through a moment of relief when when they increased the payload from I think it was 12 million transactions to 15 million transactions per block. Well, that still isn't enough because the gas fees were just going crazy. I was amazed that a couple of weeks ago when I did a transfer and I paid $3 in gas fees, and I was like, whoa, and I transferred a big amount. And then I did a purchase for $1,500 on Monday.
Right.
And I paid $274 US for a $1,300 Uniswap transaction.
Wow.
So I paid almost 25% in fees.
That's pretty big.
That's a lot.
Ouch. Yeah, that's an ow.
I'm like, wow. Okay, I want to get out of this project and I want to get into this project, so I'll do it. It was just it's the cost of doing business. Ethereum folks, get your proverbials together. Let's get optimism running. Let's get optimistic about layer 2, and let's get this sucker, cranking out a high number of transactions so that we can bring the utility of the network back down, because the challenge is there's just not enough miners mining Ethereum to handle the transactions.
Right.
And it's the bottleneck. It's like, when I can remember when I was coming home from the cottage in 1993, coming in from Pickering. That's right. And I'd come down the 35 115, hit the 401.
Okay, yeah.
like out by Bowmanville, and I'm cruising along on the express, on the 401, just booting along.
Yeah.
You hit Oshawa, and it's like you grind to a stop.
Yeah, been there many times.
And it's another hour and 20 minutes to go that 30 kilometers. Right. There was no
407.
There was no Google Maps then.
Oh yeah.
How long and what side streets to take and how to get home, right? And then when they opened up the express to McGowan, and then to Markham, right? Then out to Port Union, and then all the way out to Whitby, right? Yeah. So it was like there was enough throughput to keep traffic moving. Now when you come home on the weekend, it slows down. And it's only on the long weekends that we see it halt, right? And for the most part, traffic just flows so smooth.
Yeah.
And that's the perfect analogy for what's happening in the Ethereum network.
Yeah.
We got holiday traffic running on an infrastructure that's incapable of providing the number of lanes required to service the number of vehicles that want to get on there and use that utility at the same time.
Yeah.
Right. So if we could, Optimism layer 2, Matic is a fabulous project. I mean, that was 4 cents in January to hit over $1 in the last 48 hours. It's just been on fire.
Wow.
I've taken a lot of profits out of that, most of them, and it looks like Matic may join Doge, SpaceX, but who knows?
Yeah,
it's not financial advice.
That's
because
right.
why? We're not financial advisors.
No, we ain't.
No way. No way. We're pretty much motley fools, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, that reminds me of the SCTV skit with the two John Candy and not Eugene Levy, the other guy, and they're like farmers, and they watch the gas blow up. He blew it up real good.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's interesting in that Ethereum is going to get there. The Cardano someday. They keep announcing it's coming.
Yeah.
Right. So someday we'll get there.
Yeah.
I mean, we have electric cars now.
We do. We do.
And hopefully next year I'll be able to get that Tesla Cybertruck that'll go like 1,000 miles on a charge or something.
Wow.
Tri-motor. I just looked at that and said, I want everything.
Yeah.
So, and I'll pay for it with my Doge.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, probably with my SHIB.
With your SHIB.
Because by that time, Elon's going to know who's his daddy.
Yeah.
All right. So
perfect.
Not investment advice. Hopefully it was entertaining. I had fun tonight.
Yeah, I did too. It was great. Great chat.
Pop culture coins.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about. So look forward to talking to you on Thursday night, Bill.
Yeah.
I'm
looking forward to it again too. I'm sure we'll have some other great stuff to discuss, and hopefully people will gain some more insight into their own methods and ways to invest from a place of heart-centeredness.
Yeah, so important. So important.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah. Pay attention.
Oh, yeah.
Be curious. Have a great evening.
Thank you. You too. Good night, everybody.
Bye.